It was a bright afternoon in Ouagadougou, the capital city of Burkina Faso. President Ibrahim Traoré had just concluded a surprise visit to a local school. As he made his way back to his convoy, something unusual caught his eye. A man sitting by the roadside, his back resting against a dusty wall. In front of him was a tin cup. His clothes were torn, his hair graying in patches, and his eyes dull with exhaustion. People walked past him without a glance. President Traoré stopped. Something about the man seemed familiar. He signaled for his security team to wait and slowly approached. As he got closer, his heart skipped a beat. "Joseph?" he whispered. The man looked up slowly. His mouth fell open. His eyes widened. "Ibrahim!" he gasped, struggling to his feet. "Yes, it's me, Joseph. What happened to you?" Tears welled up in Joseph's eyes. He quickly wiped his face, embarrassed. "It's a long story, my friend. I never thought I'd see you again, at least not like this." President Traoré placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Come with me. We'll talk." "I can't," Joseph said, glancing down at his bare feet and torn shirt. "I'm not fit to enter your car like this." "You're my friend, Joseph. That's all that matters." A second chance. At the presidential residence, Joseph was given a warm bath, clean clothes, and a hot meal. As he ate slowly, he kept glancing at Ibrahim, his eyes filled with both shame and gratitude. After the meal, President Traoré poured 2 glasses of juice and sat across from him. "Now tell me, Joseph, what happened? You were one of the brightest men I knew." Joseph sighed. "It started 3 years ago." Joseph had once been a respected school principal in Bobo Dioulasso. He was hard-working, honest, and well-regarded. He had saved up and built a small house. He married a woman named Stella. At first, their marriage was peaceful, loving, or so he thought. But over time, Stella changed. She grew distant, angry, always on her phone. Joseph assumed it was stress, until one day he came home early and found her in bed with another man. "I couldn't believe it," Joseph said, his voice breaking. "I was frozen. She didn't even apologize. Instead, she told me to leave, that she loved him now." President Traoré clenched his fists. "You built that house." "Yes, but she took me to court, lied, said she funded the house, brought fake documents. The judge believed her." "You lost everything?" Joseph nodded. "My home, my job, my dignity. I stayed with a friend for a while, but shame chased me away. I started living under bridges, begging, eating once a day, if at all." He paused, eyes filling with tears. "I became a shadow. I wanted to die." President Traoré stood and hugged him. "You didn't deserve any of this, Joseph, but I promise you, your story is not over." A new beginning. The next morning, Joseph woke up in a clean bed. For a moment, he thought it was all a dream. But a staff member entered with breakfast. "President Traoré asked me to serve you," they said. Joseph was speechless. Later, Ibrahim joined him in the garden. "I didn't sleep well," he admitted. "Your story broke my heart. But it will not end in pity. It will lead to action." That day, Joseph got a full medical checkup, his first proper haircut in years, and clean clothes. He barely recognized himself. By afternoon, Ibrahim drove him to the edge of the city. A small cream and brown house with a garden stood waiting. "This is your new home," Ibrahim said. Joseph froze. "For me?" "Yes, fully paid. No one can take this from you." Joseph cried. "Why are you doing this?" "Because you once helped me, gave me books, defended me, believed in me. I was just being a friend." "And so am I," Ibrahim said. Inside, the house was cozy. A clean kitchen, bedroom, living room, and even a small office space. "I've also set up a bookshop for you," Ibrahim added, "beside a secondary school. I know you love education. You'll manage it. I'll support it for the first year." Rising again. Over the next few weeks, Joseph's life transformed. He managed the shop with pride. Students came daily for supplies, and many stayed for advice. Joseph became a mentor, a father figure. One Saturday afternoon, as he was arranging books, he heard a familiar voice. "Joseph?" He turned. It was Stella. She looked worn, pale, dressed in plain clothes. A suitcase sat beside her. "The man I left you for, he took everything. Sold the house, emptied my account. He left me." Joseph was silent. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I have nowhere to go. Can I stay? Just for a while?" Joseph looked her in the eyes. "I forgave you long ago, Stella, but I've moved on. This house is no longer your home." He walked back into his shop, his heart pounding. That night, he called Ibrahim. "She came back," he said. "And what did you tell her?" Ibrahim asked. "I told her no." Ibrahim smiled. "I'm proud of you." A new love. Weeks passed. One morning, a woman walked into the shop in a blue dress. Her name was Grace, a local teacher. Over time, Grace and Joseph became friends. She brought lunch, he walked her home. They laughed and shared stories. Grace had lost her husband 5 years earlier and was raising a daughter, Rachel. Joseph became close to Rachel, helping her read, do homework, even building a reading corner for her in the shop. One afternoon, Joseph took Grace and Rachel to a quiet garden. He knelt. "I don't have much, but I have peace, respect, and love. Will you marry me?" Grace nodded, tears in her eyes. "Yes, 1,000 times yes." President Traoré attended their small wedding. He pulled Joseph aside. "You finally found your peace." "I have," Joseph smiled. Full circle. Joseph's life was nothing like before. A loving wife, a daughter, a thriving business. He launched the Joseph Foundation to help struggling men rebuild their lives, just as he once did. He built shelters, trained men in skills, and helped them start small businesses. One day, President Traoré invited Joseph to speak at a youth conference. On stage, Joseph said, "I lost everything, not because I was lazy, but because I trusted the wrong person. But one friend found me and reminded me that broken things can be beautiful again." The hall erupted in applause. Later, he sat with Grace under the stars. "Do you ever think of her?" she asked. "Not with anger," Joseph said, "just with wonder. How someone can throw away gold and pick sand." Grace laughed. "She lost a good man." "And I gained a queen," Joseph said, kissing her hand. Epilogue. Back in a small restaurant, Stella now worked long shifts. Her beauty had faded. Her memories haunted her. She saw Joseph's interviews, photos, awards. She tried calling, but he never answered. It was too late. The man she once cast aside had become something greater than she ever imagined, without her. 1 year later, President Traoré awarded Joseph a national medal for his work with the Joseph Foundation. As they stood in the garden of the palace, Ibrahim smiled. "That's the power of one hand lifted in kindness." Joseph looked at the stars. "Who would have thought," he whispered, "that the man with nothing would one day have everything he ever dreamed?" If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another powerful life story. Thank you for watching.